But ultimately, I was only making 20, 30K a year, just breaking even. I was about to give up completely because it just didn't seem like I was gonna be able to make it work on my own.
What is going on, bro? Welcome to the video. 2020. So 2 years ago, that is the first year that I was able to generate over $1 million in a 1 year span. And luckily, we've been working our way up since then. So what I want to do today is I want to tell y'all exactly what I did to make my first $1 million in 1 year. And I also want to give y'all some concrete steps that you can take in your life so that you can get there as soon as possible.
And in order for this to really fully make sense to you, we need to first rewind and talk about the steps that I took before 2020 that have put me in the position to make that possible. So the first money that I ever made for myself was, growing up, I'd mow people's lawns. Then in high school, I worked at a sporting goods store. Then in college, I worked as a valet downtown Boston and also did some moving jobs with my buddy. And I think the only thing I learned from those experiences is that, it's gonna be tough to make significant money working hourly, right? My first career job, though, after graduating with, studying computer science, I got a job as a software engineer. And I believe my starting salary for that was like 55K, maybe a 5K bonus. I worked that job for 1 year before I stopped. And the key thing that I did is that I was like a scavenger, not a scavenger, whatever the animal is that burrows their money up. I didn't spend a thing. I was living at my parents' place, commuting to work, 2 hours there, 2 hours back. I wasn't buying anything. And what that did is, after tax, I might have already had 30 or 40K in the bank after that year. And that's what gave me the freedom not to be living worried about going broke. It gave me the freedom to decide to pursue other things. After I quit that job was when I started personal training. And the main thing I learned from this was sales, because I never had to sell anything before that. And now I had to approach clients on the gym, talk to them, build rapport, and then I'd have to sell them maybe 15 training sessions for $2,000. And that was a big learning curve for me, to be honest, because I had to believe that, my training was worth that. And then I had to learn how to convey that value and actually get them to buy it. After about a year doing that, I started to make some money there. And I think I had an 80K year because I also went back to working part-time hours from home, consulting for the software company. And my daily schedule was wake up at 7 a.m. From 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I was working on howtobeast.com, which was just a passion project at the time, a little blog. From 10 a.m. to 1 or 2 p.m. I'd be working for the software company. Then I'd go into the gym and work from 2 p.m. to close. And that's when I really started to realize that damn bro, I am capable of achieving a lot and accomplishing a lot if I put my mind to it. I never would have thought I was capable of that before. After that, I quit both of my jobs because me and the homie Dave decided to move to Spain together. And that was the first time that all the money I was making was money that I was generating myself. So I was selling some confidence courses, some workout programs through my blog. I had an email list of 7,000 people that I grinded up. And I was also figuring out how to self-publish ebooks on Amazon, get them to rank for a Men's Health bestseller and make some passive income there. But ultimately, I was only making 20, 30K a year, just breaking even. And even though I didn't realize it at the time, I was learning a lot of crazy valuable lessons because I was being consistent creating content, 2 blog posts a week. When I launched these courses, I was building out the sales page, writing all of the sales copy on the page, writing the emails. I was doing every aspect of the business. I was learning how to convey these lessons I was learning, going through my rejections with girls, building confidence with girls through the blog posts. But again, I didn't realize it at the time. And after about 3 years of breaking even, I actually started to apply for some software jobs. I was about to give up completely because it just didn't seem like I was gonna be able to make it work on my own.
Gains, bro, workout complete. Check it out. It's 6:12 p.m. and I've barely eaten anything today. I've just been so busy. I've been running around. But luckily for me, today's video is sponsored by Factor. Factor makes meeting your diet goals easy by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian designed meals right to your doorstep. They offer a variety of different meal plans, including keto, calorie smart, vegan, veggie, or my personal favorite, the chef's choice option. I love Factor because it takes all the guesswork out of grocery shopping and meal prep, which means it saves me time and energy for other things like making money. Factor meals all arrive pre-prepared and ready to eat in 2 minutes. You can choose from 4 to 18 meals per week, easily add or reduce the number based on your schedule, and you can even skip a week if you want to. Today I'm trying out their fiery beef and black bean chili, which looks absolutely ridiculous.
Man, that's flavorful. That's real good.
And because Factor is sponsoring today's video, you know that they're hooking it up. If you go to go.factor75.com/howtobeast120 and use code howtobeast120, you can get $120 off. That is go.factor75.com/howtobeast120. Use code howtobeast120 to get $120 off. First link down in the description. Check it out. All right, so January 2017, I was frustrated. I wasn't happy with the progress I was making working for myself, and I applied to a few software engineering jobs in Boston, and thank fucking God that I did not hear back on those applications, because that's when I decided, you know what? Let's give this 1 year to focus on YouTube. I'd only dabbled in YouTube before that. I made the commitment, I'm gonna make 2 videos a week, every single week. I have not broken that commitment the last 5 years. I spent $1,000 on the Sony RX100 Mark V camera, and I was like, let's just focus on making doper and doper videos. Let's not worry about creating new courses. And I can remember 8 months later, August 2017, me and Julie were on this trip in Toronto, and I kept waking up like, holy shit, we got another 1,000 subscribers yesterday. We got 1,500 subscribers yesterday. What's going on? And even though at first it seemed like I was just getting lucky or I was an overnight, 8-month overnight success, really this was the culmination of a lot of work, because my software background made it very easy for me to learn video editing. You know, my time spent coaching clients and also writing the blog made it very easy for me to learn how to effectively communicate over camera and teach different concepts. All that time I spent building my confidence and getting rejected by girls, that allowed me to make some of these approach videos, which were the first videos on the channel that went viral. So 2018, 2019, the focus stayed the same, just making doper and doper YouTube videos, trying to build out the audience. And then 2020, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, was the first year where the financial success really started to get momentum. So that year, the YouTube channel had just under 35 million views, and that generated around 100K in revenue from YouTube ads, which is the ads y'all see before the videos. It's really not that much if you think about it. 35 million views, 100K. Now from sponsorships and brand deals, that added another 400K in revenue. And keep in mind, at the time I was like a full-time athlete for Alphalete, because Edge was, just getting the ball rolling. Full-time athlete for Transparent Labs. We weren't starting our own supplement brand yet. And with those 2 brands, I had a monthly salary plus commission. So a lot of the money that I earned was in direct relation to the money that I was earning for the companies. Now that 400K also includes YouTube sponsorships, which is when a brand pays me a set fee to be in a YouTube video. And that was able to add up significantly, mainly because brands rebook with me basically 1 video per month. And that's great because, I love the products of these brands and it makes it easy for me. But the reason they're rebooking is because when they're paying me this fee, then I'm sending them an amount in sales that makes it worth it for them. Just something to keep in mind if you're trying to be an influencer, because now with Edge, we're bringing on influencers, and a lot of the time they're like, I have all these followers, I want this big salary. And it's like, yeah, but bro, you're not actually sending us sales. How does this make sense for us? Speaking of Edge Lifestyle, we did 600K in revenue that year. And that was the culmination of a lot of efforts over the last few years. I had to figure out how to design clothing, bro. I didn't know what different fabric weights were, what GSM meant, different stitching patterns. When you design a new clothing, you have to tell them every last detail. The width from here to here, the length from here to here, the width from here to here. Not to mention, it took a while to find a quality manufacturer as well as a quality fulfillment warehouse in the States. Y'all might remember we had a few warehouses that were losing packages or they weren't getting to you guys, and it was a whole learning process. Also, that 600K was pure revenue. Edge has a lot of expenses. For example, when y'all pay shipping, technically that's revenue for us, but then we immediately just pay that to the shipping company, not to mention the cost of goods, which is definitely significant. Then it was August 2020 when we launched the Beastly app, and that did 500K in revenue over those last 5 months. Keep in mind, a lot of people purchased yearly subscriptions up front, so it was a little bit front heavy. Now I paid a software development company in Germany $50K to build that from scratch, and it definitely was very important that I had a software engineering background because it made it easy for me to communicate directly with their developers and quickly reach that end product. Also, my multiple certifications and years as a personal trainer, allowed me to very effectively design that app. If you've used it, it's very easy for the end user to find their workout program, stick to the program, increase the weight, stick to the diet
diet plan, and that's why we have a really high returning customer rate month after month.
So total for the year was about 1.617 in revenue, after the expenses that I mentioned, and then there's also other expenses like buying camera gear. If we traveled to a destination just to shoot YouTube videos, that's business expenses. We didn't have any full-time employees yet, but we definitely paid some agencies and consultants. We ended up with right around 1 million in actual profits. The key thing to remember here, and I can't stress this enough, is that this was only possible because I had spent the previous, 5, 6, 7, 8 years learning different skills, making different mistakes, learning different lessons. Like, it was the culmination of a bunch of different shit. So I hope that story of my first million gives you some inspiration or some insight on your journey, but I don't want to leave y'all hanging. So I want to quickly go over 5 actionable steps that I believe you can take depending where you are in your journey to get to that first million as fast as possible.
Step 1, squirrel mode. I'd recommend having 1 full year of expenses saved in your account, because if you're constantly worried about going broke and you're struggling to stay afloat, it's gonna be very difficult to start building momentum. This means you need to spend less and make more. Spending less is relatively easy. I'd recommend an app like Truebill just to be more conscious of your expenses. And in terms of making more, well, if you're not in a career that has a lot of room for growth, you got to change careers. I've given this example before, but my brother, who had no experience with software development, he took like a 6-month coding course, and after that was hired as a full-time software engineer and started making a lot more.
Step 2, once you have that savings, it's time to experiment with your career. I recommend jumping between different careers in your 20s, especially trying to do things that interest you. So for me, this was, personal training, and then trying to do blogging and podcasting and YouTube, because not only are you going to learn a lot of different lessons and new skills in each career that you try, but it also makes you more adaptable. And if you want to be making more money and potentially have your own business, you have to be able to change directions on a dime. Step 3, make sure that one of these careers you tried gives you sales experience. Sales is the one skill that you absolutely need if you want to get a lot of momentum with your money, because you're either going to be selling yourself or a product or a service. For me, this was personal training. You could do that. You could also get your realtor license and lease and sell homes, or get a job at a car dealership. You need to learn sales and get some real sales experience under your belt. 4, think bigger. I got caught down this path for a while of just trying to grind out as many courses or workout PDFs as possible. Just I got to release another one to make a little bit more money. It wasn't until I thought of the Beastly app that I was able to multiply the earnings a lot with my fitness programs. But that was really intimidating. I had to find a development company. I had to, ideate and brainstorm this entire app. There was a lot of uncertainty there. It was intimidating. Or with clothing, at first I just went on to teespring.com and sold these tank tops where I just had them print a logo onto the tank top. I didn't have to have any inventory. I didn't have to put any expenses or any costs down. It was super easy. And look, at first you're probably going to take the cheap, easy path, and that's okay, but you're never going to make real money there, because you're going to be a victim of all the competition that's probably delivering something that's higher quality and better than what you're offering. And last but not least, you got to get comfortable spending money. When I first started making significant money, I just wanted to keep going in squirrel mode and keep saving it up, right? But if you want your business to grow, you have to get comfortable spending more. Instead of spending 10K or 20K on edge launches, we're dropping 100K now as we need more inventory to sell more and make more. Ultimately, you don't have to do this. You can, keep running cheap and running lean, but it's going to significantly limit your overhead. Eventually you're going to get to a place where you can't do any more on your own. You got to hire employees. It is an inevitable step. So for dinner, we're checking out this new sushi spot. It's called Bluefin, and the funny thing is, it actually replaced a restaurant called Mama Foo's we used to go to all the time. So we're hoping this is really fire, because that was really fire. We don't want to downgrade. Got some spicy edamame, some of these chicken fingers, a couple different sushi rolls in here. It looks solid. Trying this specialty roll first. It's got fried avocado, bunch of salmon in there. A lot of good flavor. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
10 out of 10. It's really good.
One of the waitresses in there was oh, are you guys bloggers? And it's funny because that happens when we're at restaurants and filming, and we're traveling, filming. And it was an older lady, and it's always because they asked me to write down the channel name a lot.
They probably think we're food bloggers.
And they were food bloggers or travel bloggers, and then they see How to Beast, and I just feel I have a lot of content and titles and thumbnails where they're probably oh, my lord, whoa, what is this guy filming? By the way, a little special something for you guys who made it to the end of the video. We are doing an end of winter secret sale on the Edge website. I guess it's not secret anymore because I'm telling y'all. So that means that all of our hoodies and all of our joggers, like these guys right here are the Origin joggers. I love these because they're just such like a sleek fit. They got good stretch to them, so they're super comfortable. They have a little ankle detail to get you those tapered ankles on the bottom. That also means our new Script hoodies. It's an insane level of comfort. They're too comfortable. Big discounts on all those. EdgeLifestyle.com to check that out. Only for like 2 or 3 days though. There might only be 2 days left. You might want to go check on that. If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you, bro. Hit that thumbs up button. Seriously, it helps out the channel. And I will talk to all of y'all in the next video. Stay beastly.